Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Wednesday and it's March 8th. We have a few meetings to tell you about today. We've got one at 9:30 this morning, and that is going to be the GRF Compliance Ad Hoc Committee. That will be in the Cypress Room. Then at 1:30 this afternoon, we have the GRF Purchasing Task Force, and that will be in the Cypress Room as well. And then at 4:30, we have the United New Resident Orientation. And of course, they always ask you to RSVP to info@lagunawoodsvillage.com. Now, on our show today, we have devoted the entire show to the Director of Landscaping Services, Kurt Wyman, and he's got a lot of ground to cover, so to speak, and lots of great information. So stick around for that. He will be taking up our whole show, and he's got a lot of great information about all the things that they do for keeping our village just beautiful. Okay, our weather. Well, we are looking at okay skies today, a little bit partly cloudy skies. Temperatures are looking all right. About 58-44 today. Tomorrow we're going to have some AM clouds with some PM sunshine, 64-50, and then we cloud up, and we're potentially going to have some rain on Friday. Keep you posted on that tomorrow. 60-55, Saturday 63-54, and Sunday 63-52. Our sunrise this morning was at 6:11, and our sunset will be at 5:53. And take a look at this photo. Holy smokes. That's the Tahoe Reno area, and I swear it looks like a 20-foot bank of snow. And that is why it's been so difficult to move around up there and even get to one place or the other. Even residents were stuck. So I'd give it maybe another week before you head up there to make sure you can get all the way there. Now, just a couple of information for you. Spring Forward is this Sunday. You are going to move your clock 1 hour, so you're going to have extra time of that sunshine later in the afternoon. And then also wanted to keep you updated. The United Town Hall is March 10th. That is this Friday at 2 p.m. It'll be from 2 to 4 in the Performing Arts Center Ballroom. And if you would like to participate, you can just show up. The PAC Clubhouse 3 is located at 23822 Avenida Sevilla. And they're going to be talking about personal trust information. When we come back, we will talk with Director Kurt Wyman, so stick around.
Achieve a level of comfort you've never known before. The Daydreamer will take you through smooth movements and guide you effortlessly into your favorite positions. Adjust the power pillow for ideal support for your head and neck. This and our positioning technology allows for infinite relaxation. Lay back in zero gravity while watching TV and put your body and mind at ease. Lift your spirits and find your favorite daydream. Contact your local Golden retailer today.
Hey, beach walkers, grandkid chasers, stair climbers, dance lovers, weekend warriors, and yogis. Your life demands activity, and joint pain shouldn't hold you back. Get personalized joint care that's as unique as you, with high satisfaction rates to prove it. At Memorial Care, your joint replacement patient navigator will be by your side, helping you safely return to more. Like another beach, extra hug, and one more song. More from life is calling with Memorial Care.
Hi, remember us?
We're back,
Christine and Jack from the Jewelry Box.
which is now the Jewelry Box Estate Buyers.
Relocated in a new spot in our old shopping center.
But we're still Orange County's preeminent buyer of gold, jewelry, watches, and flatware.
And we're still a full jewelry repair center. And with our 3 graduate gemologists, we're still here to appraise your special pieces.
And like always, at the Jewelry Box Estate Buyers,
It's about trust.
Welcome back. Well, we have Kurt Wyman here, who is our Director of Landscaping Services. Well, welcome. Very nice to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And you know, you have a very large group, and you guys are constantly busy because we have so much to take care of in our village.
Yes, it never ends.
It never ends. And you know what? Let's just give everybody sort of a brief overview of what landscaping is in charge of.
Everything green except the golf courses.
Okay.
We don't do the golf courses, so we do all the trees, all the grass, all the shrubs, all the slopes, all of those things. The slide up there kind of gives you the scope of how big this place is. We manage a total of a little over 650 acres. But to put it in perspective, you look at the total of the turf, there's 310 acres of turf. In the summer, we're mowing it once a week, so we're mowing well over 1,200 acres of turf every week.
Wow.
In addition to all the other things we do.
Yeah.
So,
now, all of the grass that you cut, that is used as part of the mulch, is that correct?
we use mulching mowers.
Oh,
so
okay.
they actually have a special blade inside them that sort of keeps the cut grass up inside it until it's minced into little tiny pieces, and then it drops back in and works as fertilizer. So it saves us on fertilizer costs.
Well, that's great. Good recycling there. All right, so landscaping services overview. This is all of the people that you're in charge of.
Broken into 9 different work centers. We call them here work centers.
Okay.
So as you can see on the slide, like 510 is a small group. It's 5 people. They're doing all of our turf reduction and big replanting jobs. A lot of, as everyone knows, the plants here are really old. So we've been sort of systematically going through and replacing them. And then the nursery and composting. 99% of what is planted here in the community comes from our nursery. We have a 6-acre nursery. We grow everything from cuttings. We actually go out into the community, cut little twigs from plants, and then repropagate them. So it's, and along with our composting, so everything we cut is mulched, is ground up and turned into mulch and put back into the community. Not only is it saves us about $1.2 million a year compared to hauling the things off.
Sure.
But it also gives us a complete biodiversity here. So we're not bringing in pests or weeds or anything. So everything here stays here. So it's much better for the community.
So the people that you have on staff, are most of them horticulturists, or do they have that kind of background?
Some of my supervisors do.
Okay.
But most of the field staff are just everyday guys that like landscaping.
Okay, and they're trained, of course, to know what they need.
Yeah, like all the irrigation technicians are certified. All of our pest control technicians are state certified. The tree guys are all certified. Yeah, we have a very well-educated staff.
Excellent, excellent. All right, so the next slide we have is sections.
Right. On a lot of my slides, and I do slides a lot for if anybody ever comes to the landscape committee meetings, I do quarterly updates of our progress or lack thereof.
All right.
We're pretty open about those things. So this is our section. So the community is divided into 8 sections for our maintenance. So we have 8 crews. So there's 1 crew per section, and they vary between 8 and 12 guys.
Oh, okay. Wow. So that's a lot of people. And you know what, like you said, it's a large property.
Yes.
You have to maintain, so you have to have lots of different people. Okay, and then you have different kinds of cycles.
Yeah, so that's this is we try to familiarize people with how often we maintain things. And this is clearly a budgeted item. This is decisions made at the board level on service levels. So we are budgeted to hit each building 4 times a year, which isn't necessarily quarterly, because in the summer, the same guys that are mowing that 1,200 acres a month that we talked about, they're the same guys that do the weeding and shrubbing. So we mow 2 days. It takes each crew 2 days a week to mow, so that only needs 3 days. So the spacing is a little longer in the summer and then shorter in the winter, because this time of year we're only mowing every month and a half or so.
Okay. Well, I was going to ask you about the rain, because we had so much rain. So obviously you couldn't care for much during the rain time, but because of the extra rain, does that make the grass grow that much quicker?
Yes, and well, this time of year, because of the temperature, the grass is fairly dormant.
Okay.
But it is making the weeds grow.
Oh, well, that's not good.
So we're out right now. All of our staff is out attacking weeds when we can get out there, when it's not too muddy.
All right. Oh, yeah, perfect. Okay, and then we have grounds maintenance trim cycles, which we touched a little bit on.
So back to the point on the last slide and this slide is my pride in my staff. This is the first time in a decade that we've hit all of our budgeted cycles.
Wow.
So yeah, if you look back at the bottom of this current slide, back in 2016 through 2008, we were budgeted at 6 cycles. So even then, having almost 100 guys in the field, now we've got 82 actual gardeners in the field. We still weren't hitting our cycles.
Okay.
So we changed. I took over this department in early 2019, and our goal was to meet our cycles, and last year we did.
So what do you think made that change? I mean, what was it that you did?
A lot of efficiencies.
Okay.
For instance, we've gone from the little mules people see us driving around in. We've gone to 4-seaters and from 2-seaters, so we can get more guys out behind. The hardest part is getting places here. Everything's so tight and small, we can't get trucks. So we've gone to those. We've bought trailers for them so they can haul more debris out and bring more mulch and plant material in. We've gone from vans that just carried guys out in the field and then parked all day. We've gone to pickup trucks that, crew cab pickup trucks that still carry crew but can also carry materials and tools and things like that. A lot of things like that. Little things here and there have really added up to it.
Okay, excellent. Now, we did touch a little bit about mulch, and so here you have the total buildings that have been mulched.
Yes, so this also was a record year for mulching. We've never been able to, not being able to get our cycles done, we've never had the time to mulch. So now we've mulched almost 52% of the buildings in 22, and we plan to get the rest of them this year.
Right, and we've been telling our residents about the mulch program where at least they can get some for their own yards.
Yes, 4 times a year we put piles of mulch out at clubhouses throughout the community, 4 different clubhouses, and let residents come and pick it up. And that's for them to use for their own private use. We don't expect them to mulch our shrub beds, but that's for them to use for the people who like to garden around their home. Or we also provide special mulch to the garden centers. We use the manure from the horse stables and make a special mulch that's only available to garden centers for them to use for their potting and planting and stuff like that.
Okay, good, because you just mentioned pots, so I would imagine that the people who have pots, can they use some of that mulch, the residents get that when they pick up the regular mulch, can that be used for their pots or just for the ground beds?
Yeah, you can mix it with soil.
Oh, okay.
It makes a much more organic soil.
Got it.
It's cut down on your fertilizer use.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Okay, well, this was a big one, water saving.
Yes, we're working hard on water savings. Both mutuals, United and Third, have put in water saving measures. We cut back on our irrigation water last summer in July in Third and August in United by 15%. So we've seen Third saw savings of over $150,000 in water use in the first 6 months. So we're going to continue that into this year.
Okay.
We're also doing a lot of turf reduction. Turf is the biggest user of water.
Right.
Our shrub beds we water two to 3 times a week in the summer when it's hot, and turf needs it almost every day.
Yeah.
So we're cutting all that back and trying to get rid of a lot of the non-functional turf. So turf that means turf that people don't walk on, people don't use for recreation, stuff that just looks green.
Yeah, and that's a great idea for sure. One other thing I wanted to ask you, have you guys thought about doing water collection type containers? Have you done any of that?
Such as rain?
Yeah.
We don't really get enough rain
It felt like we did.
for the space that they take up. So
okay.
the amount of cost that it would take to put in cisterns.
Okay.
And then we have the mosquito problem on sitting water. So the law requires that water to be agitated and treated. So the cost savings on, if we got regular rain throughout the year, it might work, but rain just 1 or 2 months out of the year it's not cost effective.
Okay.
There's other methods to save water that are much better than that.
Okay, perfect. All right, turf reduction. We're here at Building 119.
So this is just an example of what we're doing. We're focusing on long and narrow spots. It takes us as long to mow this long, narrow spot as it does a 100 by 100 spot. If you remember from the first slide, we have over 150 miles of edges of turf, which is the most. So if you can see the example on the left, it's all edge. So we spend more time edging than we do mowing. So what we're going through in the picture on the right, that's ground cover. That's going to fill in. That's actually carpet of stars is what it's called. So that will look like grass as you drive by, or from your window, it's just going to be green. And then about twice a year, it gets little white flowers on it.
Oh, okay.
Hence the term carpet of stars.
Gotcha. Now, at some point when this does grow, will they get in there with the hose and kind of?
Yes, the ground cover, once
Okay.
it's fully established, will suffocate most weeds.
Oh, okay.
So those are the ground covers we're looking for, the ones that use very little water, but also suffocate out the weeds, because our goal is not just to reduce water, is to reduce labor.
Yeah.
And so we can reduce cost to the community by reducing the amount of labor we spend. It's a big project.
Yeah.
We've got 300 acres of turf to deal with, but
Well, and speaking of turf, we'll go to the next slide here where it talks about the turf reduction, which is what you were just explaining to us.
yeah, so this slide is, we're really excited about this one. This one's over in United. This is taking that non-functional turf. It's almost 12,000 square feet of turf that's just sitting there. And we're going to turn it into what we call a passive park. So you can see there'll be DG walkways, picnic tables, benches under the trees for shade. You can sit and read. Everything is also dog friendly. Everything within 5 feet of the walkways is safe for dogs to walk on and use.
Yes, okay.
So it'll turn a spot that is just green into a spot that residents can enjoy.
I think that's great. That is awesome. All right, so we mentioned here on this day, things that you guys need to be aware of, and here's one of the things is the Urban Forest Management Plan that we have been letting people know about. But can you give me an overview of exactly what it is?
Yeah, so Urban Forest Management Plan is a long-range planning tool that helps us manage our trees. We've got almost 39,000 trees here in the community, and a lot of them are older, mature trees. And a lot of them, we've got 250 different species of trees. A lot of them really don't belong in our arid environment. And they use a lot of water. And most of them are planted in turf, so they're getting the water. But as we reduce the turf, we're going to have to look at what sort of trees we need in the future. We're not talking about taking down any trees that are here now.
Right.
It's a roadmap for the future on how do we maintain the beauty of Laguna Woods,
Right.
accentuating the woods,
Yeah.
and for perpetuity, for future generations.
Okay.
Most of us won't see the benefits of this plan, but future generations will.
So what is the DUDEK?
That is the consultant we're using.
Oh,
They're
okay.
a nationwide company that specializes in environmental issues.
Great. That's a really great way. Like you said, you don't want to cut anything down, but some do die, and you'll have to take them out at some point and then replace them with something that you're talking about.
Yes, and what we have here in the community is we have a lot of trees planted too close to buildings and too close to other infrastructure. So it's also going to give us a dynamic plan that we can use on not only what trees to plant, but where to plant them, so that they create less damage and require less trimming down the road.
Yeah, some of these trees have huge root systems.
Yes.
We
The
have
root
to be-
system is always as big as the tree branches.
Oh, yeah,
So-
there's some big trees, that's
Yes.
for sure. All right, so mapping the steps, like you mentioned, you're going to do the current status of the urban forest, and then you have a process.
Right, so we're already to step 3, the community input. We have a survey out there online. It's been in the weekly blast. It was also on the Globe for those of you who want to. We're going to keep it open until March 15th. And it's a basic 8-question questionnaire on basically what do you value about trees?
Great.
Where do you want to see our trees in the future?
That's great. I think it's always great to include those people who live here, right? Because they're the ones that benefit, so they should be able to share that with you, so that's a great thing.
Yes, and we know that, we talk about it a lot at the landscape committee meetings.
Okay.
And the landscape committee meetings don't get a huge crowd. So we felt it was important to reach out to everybody.
Yes.
So as of last Friday, we've gotten over 700 responses on the
Oh,
survey.
good.
Yes.
Good, and that's for the entire community.
Entire community.
Okay,
yes.
perfect. So make sure you guys get in there, and those you can get those at Resident Services, the surveys, and you just pop in there and pick it up, fill it out, and leave it with them through March 15th. Okay, current status, what's happening?
Well, the first part was to talk to our staff, to see what our current methodologies are, to go through all of the current rules and policies that the boards have passed, as well as look at my staff's certifications and our trimming methodologies, as well as our planting methodologies and all of that. So we've gone through all of that. They've also gone through our tree inventory. Those who have been with the community for a while know that we did an inventory about 6 years ago. We went and looked at pretty much every tree, created all the aspects, the size, the health, the location, all of that. So we've got a great database of that. So this consultant has gone through that database, looking for weak spots, strong spots, things like that. And now we're in the community outreach. So then the final step is they're going to go through everything, bring us a draft plan, which we will present to the landscape committees for their input, and then we'll modify that draft plan and then hopefully have a final plan by June.
Okay, fantastic. And I know there was a lot of discussion last year about irrigation, and so now you've obviously taken all of that into consideration, and you're installing different types of controllers.
Yes, GRF we awarded a contract last year to replace all of our controllers here in the community. The system we had here is well over 20 years old. It's obsolete. They are not making parts for it anymore. And also, the big part is communication. You saw how big this place is. We have over 450 controllers here in the community. And the old system we had, we were renting phone lines from the phone company that talked to what we call cluster control units, which then talked to the controllers on radio, which is a line of sight thing. So every time a tree grew up in the way, we'd have to go trim the tree to make the controllers work. So there's a lot of labor. So the new systems are all completely weather-based. We get it from the National Weather Service, the information. It's all computerized. They're all by cell phone. And the problem with the old system was to make any changes, we had to go to the main terminal in our office. So tech would be out in the field and see that something's running 2 minutes too long. He would have to make notes, run into the office, make changes, then go back out and make sure it's working. Now we can make those changes from a cell phone.
Oh boy, isn't that amazing?
Right, and it also gives us accountabilities on the staff. We know what we can tell on the computer when they've been there.
Okay.
We know when they've run. They're also going to include just having this kind of control over the system. We estimate it'll save another 18% on our water.
Wow.
But also it can tell us when we have, it's like a broken sprinkler head. It won't automatically shut them off. We don't have that infrastructure in place, but it will give a warning. So it knows when station 3 is supposed to use 60 gallons of water an hour, and if it jumps up to 100, it will give us a warning so we know something's wrong and we can run out and fix it.
That is amazing. That's great. All right, so you've got some initiatives for this year. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we want to complete the installation of that system. We are ahead of schedule. We were originally going to be done in September. We're shooting for June. The sooner we get it done, the more savings we get.
Right.
We're continuing to add drought-tolerant species to our nursery.
Great.
We're expanding they grow slower than the other plants, which is part of the deal with them.
Right.
So we're taking up more space. So it's taking us a little while, but we're propagating more and more species. There's a lot of hybrid species coming out that we're excited about, where they're taking plants that necessarily didn't grow in this area, but they're making them so they are drought tolerant and grow in our environment. So yes, the industry is really evolving, especially in Southern California, to drought tolerant. So we're excited about getting new plant materials in. We're going to continue the turf removal, turf replacement, I should say. It's much better. We're updating our methodologies to get more mulch out there. Mulch saves water too. As you can see, everything we're doing is to save water and save money.
Yeah.
Also, the state passed a law stating that as of 2024, all of our backpack blowers, string trimmers, all of our handheld tools will no longer be able to be purchased in California gas powered. So we're converting to electric powered.
I see.
So in fact, yesterday I just met with our supplier to get us, they're in high demand because everybody's making this change. So we're having problems getting our hands on enough of them. But we're doing some tests. We're going to outfit an entire crew with them just to see how long the batteries last. And as part of that, we're converting our mower shop from a mower repair shop to a charging station.
Yeah, of course. You're going to have a lot of things to charge. Everything looks great. And then, of course, you're going to establish the urban management plan for the trees.
Of course.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for everything that you do. We really appreciate it. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you would like any information about what we have just discussed, you can always send an email to generalmanager@vmsinc.org, and we will direct it to the appropriate person. We'll be right back.
There are many treasures within the walls of Laguna Woods Village. The foundation of Laguna Woods Village is one of them. Nowhere in the nation has a community embraced a commitment to assist its own residents with temporary emergency support. Since 1997, the foundation makes that support available through donations by individuals, clubs, organizations, and bequests. Help the foundation to help the real treasures within the village, our friends and neighbors.
Village Television presents Friday Films, only on Village Television. Fridays at 2 and 6 p.m. Foreign films, dramas, and comedies. Award-winning films, romance and mystery. Independent films. Every Friday, only on Village Television.
And speaking of Friday films, let's go ahead and take a look at the films we have for you this weekend. On Friday, we have Silver Linings Playbook, that is starring Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence. You can see that at 2 p.m. with subtitles and 6 p.m. without subtitles. And then on Saturday, we have Les Miserables, and that will be a great flick. That is starring Liam Neeson, actually, and that was from 1998. And you also can see that at 2 p.m. with subtitles, 6 p.m. without subtitles. All right, the California Club is having a fun event that is going to be coming up here. And take a look at this information. They are going to be Sing into Spring, and that is going to be on Tuesday, March 28th at Clubhouse 5. Of course, if you want any information with that, California Club of Laguna Woods Village is how you get in touch with them. All right, the Village Bazaar is coming up, and that is going to be in April. We have that happening on Saturday, April 1st at Clubhouse 5's parking lot. It is open to everyone, so make sure you come on by to check out all the fantastic wares that many of our residents make. If you want more information about that, you can go to recreation@vmsinc.org. Now, I wanted to point this out early, but the Easter dinner, like an Easter buffet, sorry, is coming up, and they want you to know about it now because some of these things really do sell out very quickly. This is going to be in Clubhouse 5. Adults are $38 and children are, looks like $19. Tickets are on sale at Clubhouse 5 office starting March 9th. If you want more info about that, get in touch with recreation@vmsinc.org. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our weather. As I mentioned earlier in our program, we are going to have some partly cloudy skies for the next day or two, and then we are looking at rain again, but it's only going to be for a day and a half, but it will be some good rain. Today, 58-44, tomorrow 64-50, then we drop to 60-55 with rain on Friday. AM showers on Saturday, 63-54, then on Sunday, 63-52. Have a great day in the Village. You can always watch our program again at 12:30 and 5. Monday through Saturday. We'll be back again tomorrow right here on Village Television at 9 a.m. Bye-bye.